recording.
Okay, so for we here in Nigeria,
Yeah.
I want to know how the training is going to be, because most of us, like I myself, I think I've not done anything on the EOS blockchain. Sorry, I've not done anything on the EOS blockchain. So will the training be remote? Or we have to gather at a center to be trained by some persons? Or can we do this thing online?
Based? Where are you based?
He's in Nigeria.
I'm in Nigeria.
No, I mean where? Where in Nigeria?
I'm in Lagos.
Okay. After the call, me and Plan 6 will look at that possibility of coming up with centers in Port Harcourt, Abuja, Lagos, and maybe Ibadan. So between tonight and tomorrow morning, we'll look into that possibility. Then, of course, we'll create a Nigerian dev group. So we'll give you the feedback there. So for those, if you can come up with centers in 4 of these cities, I think it'll be cool. If not, for those who maybe centers will not get to where they stay,
okay,
then it has to be online. But we'll get back to you by tomorrow morning.
All right. So any other question?
Also, so to answer that previous question, thanks, Kent, for your answer. So if you're able to get a center to do the training, that will be awesome. But in case you don't, I think most of the communication between us will be via Zoom. So when most of the things we will be doing, you can even follow from the place of your convenience. Yeah.
Okay, I think I have a question. And how will these centers be sponsored? Who will sponsor the center? That's a very important question.
Okay, okay, go ahead, Felix.
All right, so for Nairobi, I think we already have centers. So we spoke to Moringa School. They're sort of like our friends and normally give us space for free, or we can use our space at Kotani. For Nigeria, I know that EOS Nation has a hub, but I think Sam Sticks is the one who can confirm that. I don't know about EOS Nigeria. Maybe Kent can confirm how the whole process will sort of like take place. Or was that confirmed?
Yes, for Nigeria, like I said, we'll look into that possibility between tonight and tomorrow morning. Then we'll feedback the house, because EOS Nigeria, for one, doesn't have a space. Then EOS Hub in Port Harcourt, most of our devs might not be in Port Harcourt, or most guys who are interested in this work might not be in Port Harcourt. So by tomorrow morning, we should have concrete answers for this.
Okay.
Okay. That's awesome. And I also had a question. I don't know if it's okay. Okay, so my questions are, one, can we be able to get a list of teams from Nigeria? And this question is probably directed to Sam and Kent, because in the case of Nairobi and I think Botswana, we plan on registering all developers and knowing which teams they are in. So is it possible for us to get a list is probably like my first question. And then the other one is, can EOS Nigeria and EOS Nation Nigeria be able to prepare mentors for this team, sort of like people who can have discussions with them through the week, sort of like to see if they're ready for the hackathon? And then my third and final question is, do you require support in terms of getting access to the internet or something like that? Sort of like maybe your developers require some kind of support and EOS Nairobi can help you out with some of these things.
Okay.
Okay.
Kent, you have to say something.
Okay. First of all, we need as much support as we can, given that most of the stuff we're doing we're doing it from our own pocket, and sometimes that could be a very big limitation in what we can actually do. And it also affects motivation to a great extent, you know, but will actually give us that big break that we've been looking for, you know. So, but any support we can get, that will be very appreciated. Also, in getting our devs together, a list of devs, first of all, we don't have a concrete list now, apart from the few people we have already that already know they're interested in this kind of work, and they aren't much. They're actually less than 10 that have their names. But between tomorrow and let's say Tuesday, with intense publicity, talking about in social media and maybe even on the larger forums that we have, then we'll see the number of people we can attract, you know, then from there, and people who can attract, then get them interested in this work. Then from there, we can now generate a list. So we need between, tomorrow is Friday. Yeah, we need up until weekend to be able to say we have done the kind of publicity we would like to do, and we've come up with a particular list. Then as time goes on, as more people join, we can always update that list. I don't know if that's fine.
Yeah, that sounds proper. Thanks, Kent. And yeah, and I think I can make a suggestion. An easy way to form these teams will be to think about the skills that are needed for the hackathon. So in our case, what we have done is we know that the people who need to be trained sort of like on EOS are mostly people who are good at C++ or a bit of JavaScript. So like if you can get C++ developers and JavaScript developers, and they go through this EOS training and sort of like maybe they participate in some of these Zoom calls, then you have your core developers. Then this one core developer that has been trained can pair up with two other people, a front-end developer and a person who can pitch, sort of like a marketing or a business entrepreneur kind of person, somebody who can sort of like present. If the developer can present himself, then or herself, there's no problem. So the suggestion I would have for you, which will make sort of like your work easy, is to look for people who will be able to come for the training, because you can also have an entrepreneur who's not able to code. So have a core sort of like C++ developer. You can even have 20 of them, which means that now you have the possibility of having 20 teams, and then let them pair up with two other people on the day of the hackathon. Because usually when this person is coding, because the code is expected to be fresh, you shouldn't build on other people's code. So as the backend guy is coding and the front end guy is dealing with the front end, then the person who's pitching or coming up with the slides is sort of like supposed to be sort of like practicing, coming up with the slides and practicing, because the presentation to the judges is only 3 minutes. And some of these things, such as the problem statement, you need to make them in 45 seconds. So if you haven't sort of like practiced, it might be a challenge for your team, and time might end before you finish your demo. So my suggestion would be that sort of like to pair them in groups of 3, so that when you have 20 C++ developers, you know you already have 20 teams.
I think.
And then in terms of and then in terms of support, in case you need any support, you can write to us. So like you can just write what kind of support you need. And so like if it's support for space or support for internet, and then we'll be able to sort of like review and see where we can help, where we can help out.
Okay.
But you guys are doing great work in Nigeria.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Alex.
The major issue right now is that today is the first day that we're getting the word out there, right? There are lots of good developers in Nigeria, I tell you. But we just used a few hours to spread the word. So we've not really gotten the word out there to let the developers know what's happening, right? So I think between now and next Tuesday, like 10th, we'll get the word out there and make sure we get the C++ guys and the JavaScript guys that we have around to come to the group and put their heads together and see what they can do.
Cool, that's nice. And can we have a few of them on Saturday at 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. East African time.
Yes, we will.
Yeah. Okay.
We will.
Was this, but
we will.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Thanks.
Okay. All right. I think that's like the main talk. I don't know if we have any question from Chidi. Chidi has already asked a question. I think that just Chidi that is into blockchain. We have Kent. We already know Kent. We know Daniel. We know Felix. Well, everybody here is on EOS already. Also, I don't know if anybody has any other things to say while we wrap up.
Mine is just to say Africa depends on us for this. So like this is a hackathon that's only open to residents of Africa. So we won't have any other global teams joining. So this is sort of like a chance given to Africa by Block One and even by the global EOS community to sort of like prove itself, because there was this push by many different African BPs to have the hackathon in Africa. And it has now happened, and it is in Cape Town. And also notice that because it's virtual and it has never been done before, they have given us 4 days to sort of like code. So it is sort of like up to us to determine our fates and sort of like to win this. And I'm sure there are very good teams in Nigeria. And I want to wish you all the best, sort of like we enter into this week of grinding. Those are my final comments. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. This was an amazing call. I hope to connect with you in the next ones. It was a pleasure meeting you all. I'm happy that we'll get to work together on this one. A win for one of us is a win for the entire Africa. So we'll do our best. We'll put in all the support we can put in just to make sure that people who are going to participate in this are going to win. So yeah, you guys have my word. We'll support in every way we can, just to ensure we get good teams out there. All right. Thanks for your time. I really appreciate it. We'll continue communicating on WhatsApp. So look out for the comments and the chats down there in WhatsApp. All right. Have a great night, guys.
All right, good night.
Yeah, thank you, Dan.
We can post both videos in the group for those who are not able to attend.
Okay.
Oh yeah, sure. Thank you, guys. See you.
Bye.
Thank you, Dan. Yeah.